Good morning, EDPS 340 students. At least it's morning as I record this video. Um, you should first read the email that this video is attached to, and of course, as it says in the email, have your course pack ready. We're going to look at a few pages as I talk to you this morning. Let me ask you, are you keeping up? In addition to getting those big assignments in the SLA or not SLA and the CAP, do you think that you are able to deal with those questions that I sent to you, let's see, last Tuesday, March 31 at 9:40 in the morning? Look over that email and hopefully you feel you could answer those questions. Again, that's not an assignment at this point, but you should be able to handle those. We're going to look at a few issues with standardized testing today. We're continuing that discussion. I know that my feelings about standardized testing have come through, but rest assured that you will never be required to buy my opinions, and I hope I'm always billing my opinions as opinions. But tucked in here and there are some actual facts. So let's move forward. But before, just a brief sidelight, semi-related, before we continue with a look at standardized testing, is I want to talk about rewards, which is just another form of punishment. Rewards and punishment are basically the same thing. I want you to do this, and I offer you a reward, a big enough reward, you'll do it. Or if I am able to threaten you with a severe enough punishment, you'll do it. So punishment and reward are basically two sides of the same coin. Page 102 in the course pack. If you're not, if you don't have your course pack out, do so. Pause briefly and go to 102. Alrighty. This page taken from an ad for. Is it Chuck E. Cheese? I believe, yes. The famous Chuck E. Cheese, which we all know and love from our childhood, offers kids rewards, I guess in the form of pizza or tokens, valuable tokens, yes, at Chuck E. Cheese, for good grades. Maylone's view, and the view of a lot of other folks in education and researchers, not a real good idea. Let's talk briefly about getting kids to comply, doing their homework, getting good grades. Compliance can be, to some extent, accomplished by offering kids rewards or punishments. If you get good grades, I'll reward you with pizza parties, maybe at a higher level. Dad will get you a car, who knows? And if you do poorly, you will be shamed, you will be grounded, you will have to go to detention, whatever. Compliance should not be your goal with students in terms of the classroom. What you want, and it's a tough gig, I admit, is for students to leave with understanding of stuff, with retention of facts and ideas and concepts, the ability to apply what they've learned. A career prep. Not when I say career prep, I don't just mean readiness for the work world. I guess I mean even beyond career prep, but hobby prep, interest prep for their lives. Skill acquisition. Are we giving kids skills along the way? And providing a window for them into the world. So which one are we doing in the classroom? And I think it's an important question for you to answer, or at least think about when you're teachers. Are you just getting your kids to comply, and are you happy that they've done their homework and that they've scored high on tests? Is that good enough, or are you looking for some of this? Just wanted to say that. Hey, look, if you would, at a so-called IQ test. Some samples of which I've provided on pages 120 and 121 in your course pack. So go there. All right, I just want to highlight a few of these items from this standardized IQ test, which is from an outfit called eMode. I don't know if they exist anymore. They're a few years old. But let's just take a look at a few of these items, and you'll see maybe why I have issues with standardized testing and the big tests. Let's look at number 2 on page 120. Which of these 5 is least like the other 4? Just wonder what you would say. Would you pick mule because it's the only one that's sterile? It's true. Yeah, I know a few of you are saying that. How do they reproduce? We're not going to cover that here. Is it the cow because it's the only one that typically gives milk for humans? What's the right answer? The issue, of course, is that the test writers perhaps have a characteristic in mind that the students should be considering, but who knows what characteristics they want. So number 2, in my view, bogus. Number 4, I wonder if I shared this in class. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. Even the most blank rose has thorns. Which answer do you think the test writers want? That's correct. They want tempting. I claim at least 2 other responses make enough sense that they should not be offered. Example, someone has wild roses in his or her backyard. This person also composts, and each fall they kind of cut back the wild roses, put them in the compost pile, and come spring, they grab the compost and spread it around. If they're not careful, they're going to be pricked by the thorns on the roses that they put in the compost pile last fall, because, folks, even the most weathered rose has thorns. So, again, we're back to what we talked about many weeks ago. You know what I want. You know what I meant. And those are bad statements for test writers to hide behind. Let's look at just one more. Next page, number 27. Oh, I love it. Which of these 5 things is least like the other 4? So what do you think, EDPS students? Do you think banana because it's a radically different shape from the others? Is it perhaps coconut because it's the only one with a hard shell? What in the world are they looking for? Even now, I don't know. I don't know what they're looking for. If this is an IQ test, I doubt it. I have a lot more examples like that. I'm talking about hundreds and hundreds in my office, but can't go to my office. So I hope those 2 will just remind you of how difficult it is to write good test items and how bogus it is sometimes, these claims that are made about these tests. One more thing today. I asked you to read the article, Is the Big Standardized Test a Big Standardized Flop? Well, you probably know my answer. But I just want to highlight my favorite line. Standardized test scores are, quote, less like actionable data and more like really expensive noise. There really is very little data out there that says the current big test fever, when I say current, I mean the last 20 years really. There's very little evidence that it helps prep kids for life, or back to my opening today, helps kids with any of these things, with real understanding or retention. It just sort of encourages compliance. Just get the score, kids. Just get the high score, and then we're all happy. That's a shame. Anyway, you'll notice an assignment on the email that this video is attached to. It's not a big one. I know you have other big assignments coming in, but you're all doing a good job at this point, and you've been patient with me as I've dealt with tech and online learning, and I think we're good to go for today. So stay safe. Wash your hands, wipe down the computer screen after you view this video, and stay tuned.